quietly. Thank you for coming and joining us and trusting us today. Um, I work with a frequency healing device called the Healy. In this device, I have a coaching module where I run a vibration scan. And so I just ran that of our group right here. And so once I input our intention for this group session into the app, I'm going to set it to run that intention for us, and it will send us the vibrations for that intention while we're holding the session here together. And so that is just like a little extra added energetic boost to what we're doing. And so my intention here today is to just trust that my inner mom and my inner baby have each other today. And flowing however they're wanting to flow and how this is going to come out. And so we're going to write this little intention of today I feel held and supported with love and understanding of where my emotions are. Okay, and so I did have you guys all get your colorful writing utensils. If you don't have that, allowing yourselves to work through that, because how we speak to ourselves in these moments, of these unexpected moments, are really important. Because so I want you to think of your inner child right now, and it's not this cute little concept of this random ass little kid. It's, you think of it like you literally have this tiny version of yourself sitting here with you all the time, this actual child, this child that has its own feelings, its own emotions, its own opinions and personalities, likes and dislikes. And those things might be different than the things that you actually like and dislike in your current reality. But they still exist. Some of them are the things that when you were little, you were either denied, or the things that you use to help yourself feel safe. And an example of that manifesting into like a physical reality is like maybe a safety blanket or a stuffed animal. That thing kept you feeling really safe. And it might be something that you either clung to as you were growing up, or you started to push away because you felt whatever feelings around having this thing that is like for a child, not for a growing adult. And so as we move through this, I want you to speak to your child self like you actually like and love them. So this version of you that you have sitting here with you, they're like your child is sitting there, or your nephew or your niece is sitting there. How would you speak to them to foster love and acceptance and understanding? And then also remembering, because we might move through a lot of different emotions in this, remembering that our parents, most of them, were doing the best that they could with what they had and what they understood at the time. So when we go through and do inner child healing, it's not about our parents anymore. We are now that mother. We are the mother that our child needs. And can we give them that aspect of ourselves without shaming or belittling or getting angry? And now maybe our little self gets angry, and that's okay. But can the mother inside of all of us, can we stop and hold that anger with our little self? Can we pick them up and hold them and say, it's okay for you to feel this right now? And so that's all just to preface before we get in to the heart and bones of what we're doing here today. All right, so if you feel comfortable, I ask that you go ahead and close your eyes and settle into your heart space. Bring your visual attention to your heart space and start to imagine a glowing orb radiating from the center of your heart. And this orb can be any color that pops into your mind. And just allow your breath to sync with that orb for a moment. And on an in-breath, pulling your attention and your breath and that energy down through your body, through your legs, and your feet, and into the center of the earth, where this energy is going to merge with the core of the earth, breathing and circulating that energy for a moment. And again, on an in-breath, pulling that earth energy up through the earth, through the bottoms of your feet, into your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, and back into your heart. And as this earth energy connects in your heart, just hold it there for a moment. The color might change, the sensation might change. And then allow that energy to move up through your throat chakra, your third eye, and into your crown chakra. Where now this energy is going to spill out of your crown and shower over you like a blanket. And allow this energy to circulate from top to bottom throughout your being, connecting with your heart, your breath, and the earth. And from here, begin to imagine the door to your childhood bedroom. What did this door look like? If you can't remember your actual bedroom door, that's okay. What does your inner child see? What kind of door would make them happy, would bring them joy? And as you approach this door, you see your child self sitting in the bedroom. Are they sitting on the bed? Are they dancing in the vanity? Are they playing a board game with themselves on the floor? Just observe what your child self is doing. And after a moment, you knock lightly and you ask this child if you can join them. You brought with you these beautiful colors, and you ask them if they'd like to draw. And together you sit on the floor or the bed, at the desk. And your inner child takes their favorite color and begins to draw you a picture. Where is this picture taking you? Can you add to this picture with your favorite color? As you're drawing, you ask your inner child about their favorite foods. If you can sit for a moment with yourselves and your inner child in that bedroom and allow them to take your hand, allow them to show you where they are right now. As you're sitting with your child self in this room, coloring these pictures, exploring these worlds. This exercise allows you to see yourself as a child through the eyes of yourself now. And one of the questions that you can ask yourself right now to your little baby self, what is something that you have done today that you are proud of? And you can sit and you can listen to your little self answer that question. And if it's hard for them to answer that question, we can model that for them. Model that for them by telling your little baby self something that you're proud of doing. I'm so proud that I showed up for you today, even though it was hard for me to get here. Even though I'd rather be doing something else, cleaning the house, cooking dinner, taking care of all the things that need to be done. I know that my time here coloring with you is important for our souls. And I'm sorry that I have not spent more time with you. I'm going to invite you to say your goodbyes to your little child self, to remind them that you're always here for them whenever they need you, and that you will visit more often. Give them a hug and a kiss, and leave them now in that room and join us back here. To ask you to take that piece of paper and those writing utensils that you brought with. And if you remember anything that you were visualizing during this, go ahead and either write that little you a letter. And if that doesn't feel right, go ahead and color them a picture. You can keep writing or drawing. I'm just going to talk for a moment. It's a very, very small, brief taste of something that you might experience coming to one of the Love Thyself getaway experiences, whether that's on our weekly Thursday calls. Next week, Brittany will be hosting a type of tapping, and I'll let her talk about that more later. And Megan will be also hosting a different modality the following Thursday, and we have group sessions. We also host retreats a few times a year, and that's something that if you're interested in, just be on the lookout. But these different modalities help us to connect more with the forgotten, the neglected, the pieces of ourselves that just need a little extra love, a little more connection. Something that came to me over the last few days pretty heavily with work-related things, with even building this container with Brittany here, is aspects of self-sabotage in conjunction with people-pleasing. And I believe that a lot of these come up for many of us because our child self wasn't given a safe space to express where they were at in moments of extreme anger, in moments of mass sadness. They weren't held or given the tools to be able to process through these things. So oftentimes we will push that down and we won't stand up for ourselves. We won't tell the people even closest to us what we need or what we're experiencing. And so I'm going to leave you with the question of, oh, I'm going to form it like this. Okay, so we have a boss, and our boss is very authoritative. And so we let our boss talk down to us more often than not because they're our boss, right? Well, I'm going to ask you that if that boss was being mean to you, was talking down on you, would you allow them to continue to speak to you in that way if your son or daughter was standing next to you? I would not. Now I'm going to ask you to remember that you as a child is sitting there with you right now. And how can we model for these situations to set them up for success?